Is this thing on?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone, and everywhere, and all the things. Welcome to UCR Live. I'm not even going to start the show with jokes and fun and all the goodness that we usually do, because it is such a tense time in social media world, in real media world, in the world at large, really. I am going to just set the groundwork today by saying, if you came here for us to blow up and take sides and villainize and do all that stuff, that's not what's going to happen for this first story. We are going to give each other time to speak. It's not going to be a debate. We're going to have our say, and then we're going to move on, because there is far too much of this venom from this event that is. I had to turn off yesterday from it. I had to turn off and put away, because the conglomeration of the horribleness of the last couple of weeks, and I'm not even in your country, is just too much. So there are times that you need to turn off, but sometimes you need to turn on and speak. So this is our chance to do that now. Of course, we are referencing the events of yesterday. Charlie Kirk shot and killed. Who would like to go first? Vera? Vera? Go.
I would like to start out by saying what I have said hundreds, if not thousands of times on this show. I do not condone political violence. I reposted a quote from Charlie Kirk himself yesterday that made people think that I did. And the amount of hate and vitriol that has poured at me in the last 24 hours has been shocking. I don't think anybody deserves to die, but I think that Charlie Kirk actively supported gun deaths. He actually did. There are multiple quotes where he talks about people who needed to die, and that there is an acceptable level of gun deaths. I do not support what happened to Charlie Kirk, but he did. And I'm done.
Right. Christina?
I really think it's a lot of hate. It's a lot of hate, and I don't like it. And I think something seriously needs to be done. It's not, like you said, Vera, it's political. What I'm sorry, what do you call it? Political what?
Violence. Political violence.
Violence. I'm sorry. Thank you. My head. It's a very crazy day. So it's political violence. This is now the second attempt, this is now not even the second attempt. Okay, let's just, again, no sides here, because this is just, it's ridiculous now. Like, stop. There's no reason. Today of all days, let's just remember where we were, and how we all came together. And we are not that same country anymore. And I think we really forgot. Like, everybody is a person. Everybody has a life. You have no right to take that for anybody else's life. There's no reason or no rhyme to it why you would, out of pure hate. I mean,
well, we don't
think,
know what the motivation was.
Right, but because
we
the
don't
person
know.
was outspoken about how he felt, you feel like you have the right to take him out. Like, I mean, that video is I mean, if you've seen it,
I
it's
did
just,
not. I have not
oh
seen the
my
video.
God.
I heard it was up there. I didn't see it. I didn't go looking
Oh,
for it.
it's disturbing. I mean, anybody who was there is officially like mentally fucked. Because even me just watching it as on my phone, to see it live, I couldn't even imagine the horror. And uh, it's just, we got to stop. Like, it's just, something has to be done, and everybody says so and agrees.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think, there was a lot of hate speech on my page, not on the show page, on my personal page, because I
No,
shared
there's some on
stories
the
from
there's some on the there's some on the there's different sides on the page, but yeah.
I've only been following my page. There were people who I haven't seen in 13 years who haven't wished me a happy birthday, who came on my page to tell me what was wrong with me, that just all of a sudden knew exactly what my problem was and what needed to happen to me. People who I thought were my friends advocating violence against me because I repeated Charlie Kirk's words.
Yeah. Okay. I was in the cycle for a hot minute because this is what we do on this show. I did not, will not watch the video. I watched a few TikToks of people saying we are not meant to see these things. It's part of the problem. You are not meant to see a young father get shot in the neck and die, bleed out in front of not only his wife and children, but hundreds of people who are now going to have big PTSD issues. But you're also not meant to watch a young girl get stabbed in the neck and bleed out on public transit.
Mm-hmm.
We're not supposed to hear about a husband and a wife and their fucking dog getting shot in their own home and dying.
The school shooting in Colorado.
We're not meant to hear about the 61st, I think it is, 61st school shooting of the year.
The year from
of the
August
year
1st,
of this year
of this school year, not since January.
Correct. So one of the more powerful, passionate people I saw on TikTok, and I didn't get the user's name. He kept asking, "Is it the guns yet?" And yes, it is the guns. And yes, it is mental health. But more than anything else, it is the systems and the people that are allowing a country that is already highly divided to be further divided, to be marginalized, to be radicalized, to be discriminated against, where they feel that their only way of acting out and taking back power is violence, no matter what side of the course you're. Even at the memorial for Charlie Kirk, there were brawls.
I didn't see any of that.
People are so heightened, and it's a systemic failure from the top down.
I firmly believe that this divisiveness has been intentional.
Yeah, 100%.
That the people in power profit from us fighting each other.
Yep. And that was my point.
I was never that cynical before.
Yeah. And that was my point in opening today the way it did, because we do laugh, we do joke, and we will laugh and we will joke today. But this isn't a joke. As Christina said, 24 years ago, it was never forget. It was let's gather around, let's look after our neighbor, no matter where they're from. How long did it take to forget? 24 years.
Yeah.
That's how long it took. That's how long it takes.
I think we forgot 10 years ago.
but for it to be,
but like, to be honest, like
24 years ago, you were, and the world was facing an outside threat. Yes, we were being attacked for your beliefs. Now that has become so insidious and so internalized that we're attacking each other.
Mm-hmm.
We've forgotten the lesson that those over 2,000 people had to die for families that will never get to, hug their mums, dads, children, all that potential snuffed out so that we can go around shooting each other and shooting kids in schools and stabbing, not even just immigrants, stabbing like war, like war, I can't even think, refugees in the throat just because we can. And then we're using these events to push rhetoric, political rhetoric, racial rhetoric, transphobia, all of this shit that was never supposed to be dividing a people or a country or humanity, because we'd learnt the lesson, hadn't we? Never again, never forget. And especially today, for you guys, it's heartbreaking to, like, that's really all I have to say. I think instead of getting venomous and further proving the point of the people that want you to speak out and to act out against each other, the best course of action is to demand that they do something or get out. That's it. I think we can move on.
Like, I don't know, like, if it's different where, upstate. I mean, I know we're both in New York. It's, it hits us, I feel, a little, obviously, a lot harder. But, like, in the past, I guess at work hearing, the memorial every, September 11th with the dinging and, and the reading of the names. And it's, it's really powerful. And then you're out in public and you feel like people are more respectful and they're saying hi and they're smiling and have a great day, just different vibe. But today I did not feel that at all. It wasn't on the TV at work. I don't know. It wasn't on. So I didn't see the memorial today. I saw one post. Yes, all my friends on their stories put stuff up, but I saw one post about 9/11. And everything else is, thank God he's dead, or, oh my God, he's dead. And I don't, again, like you said, it took 24 years to forget. It's, what the fuck happened? Like, can't we all just get along? Like, it's just so frustrating to know that it has to be so black and white and so, two-sided. It's just, we don't have to butt heads. We don't have to argue like that. Like, we all just have to live here and live our lives, make our money, and die. So,
and we all have a right to live our lives.
Right. In a natural cause, yeah. You shouldn't be sending your children to school, not wondering if they're going to come home.
Right.
You shouldn't be sending them to church. You shouldn't be opening the front door to have your family in Ireland. You shouldn't be on public transport and A, being attacked, or B, not being helped by anyone else that was there.
Left for dead. I don't understand that.
So
I don't understand that.
Yeah, it's heavy stuff. I was really a little bit conflicted about how to deal with it because there is so much hate. But I think the worst thing you can do is not say anything, because, and I say this to people in general, when to members of the panel on about personal life stuff, it is so emotionally driven that sometimes you have to just step back to try and take the emotion out of it, to look at what's really going on. Because if you feed into the, we should all have sympathy now because this is somebody, everyone is somebody's father, everyone is somebody's son, everyone is somebody's daughter. Just because you have a public profile does not make your life any more worth or any less worth than anyone else. It should be a human decency thing, not a political thing, not a racial thing, not a gender identity thing. And no wonder, everyone. And it's very interesting that we're all also now having all these, the end days that are upon us kind of social, maybe just my social media, maybe just my TikTok. The end days are here. The aliens are coming. Please, at this point, beat me up. I'm ready.
Well,
I'm ready.
I did
All right.
get to watch some of the 9/11 tribute today.
Yeah.
It has been my habit for 24
Yeah.
years. Even though I am upstate, there were people.
But I think it is that because you remember it. I remember
it
it.
vividly.
I
still
watched it
remember
happen in
24
real time
years
on
later.
television. You know,
You
if
know,
you are
Yeah.
of an age that you were,
Uh-huh.
socially, and it wasn't this, it wasn't these back then. You had to invest in the news and invest in the news cycle. But I was sitting on a computer at a bizarre time of night, obviously, because hello, Australia, and they were reporting on the first plane. I watched the second plane hit the tower, and then I watched everything that ensued from there. So
Yeah.
it is in my mind. It is in all of our minds because we watched it happen.
Yeah, I was at that time working an 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. shift, and it started at 9 in the morning. My brother-in-law knocked on the door and he said, "You might want to turn on the TV." And like you, I was watching the aftermath of the first plane and then watched the second plane hit in real time, and could not process what had just happened. You know, everybody was talking about it being a small Cessna or a private plane that hit the towers, and suddenly two planes hit the towers, and this was no longer a freak accident. This was an attack, and I could not process it, and I needed my brother-in-law to process it for me. You know, but as the day wore on, I did find out there were people I loved who were in the vicinity. There were people I knew who were in the building. You know, there were people I knew who were affected for decades. The daughter of a very good friend was working in the South Tower, and she was so traumatized she moved to Alaska and did not come back to the mainland for 10 years.
Wow.
A couple that I know were working in theater, and they had to walk the length of Manhattan and cross the Brooklyn Bridge on foot because all of the trains had stopped. They could not get back to their home. You know, but the funny thing that did happen today, my little tidbit of humor, is that I was watching the memorial, and as they were reading the names and ringing the bell, some very well-meaning young FDNY gentleman got up to read a person who didn't have family present, and he so badly mispronounced their name. And all I could think of was, it's been 24 years. Somebody couldn't write it down.
Yes, phonetically,
Yeah,
please.
phonetically.
Phonetically.
Oh my
Let's
God.
go.
That was my chuckle of the day. We will
Yeah.
laugh again, even
Something
in the face of
interesting.
this tragedy.
Something interesting has come out of the 9/11 commemorations, though, further proving suspicion at a point, maybe. But tell me this man hasn't had a stroke.
Wow.
This picture is rapidly disappearing off the internet.
I had not seen this picture. That certainly
Neither have I.
suggests.
I wonder why you haven't.
I certainly suggest.
But I can make that face.
there is a certain slack muscleness to it that suggests
Yeah.
it's not a made
That
face.
is suggests. And look, I'm not taking any delight in that at all. But tell me that that's not a stroke symptom, post stroke. Like, I don't know.
Looks like it. It certainly.
And
looks
you know
like
what?
It.
If it is, then he shouldn't be working. He shouldn't be doing the job. He should be looking after his health. Again, nothing to do with politics. He should somebody anywhere should be going, "Oh, you look like you might have had a stroke. Maybe we'll take you out of public view for a little while." And again, we think everyone goes into the death cycle, and whatever your reaction is to that, and
But he made that video. He made that video about Alex Kirk. Sorry, whatever his name is. And
Charlie
he
Kirk.
didn't. Charlie Kirk. Sorry, and he looks fine.
Yeah, he was also missing a finger.
Yeah, that was what I was told. I was told it was definitely AI enhanced.
If you go back and watch, he's missing a finger in that
I
video,
have
so
not seen
AI
it.
is not
I
that good.
did not see it. My entire day.
I saw
caught up
some screenshots. I didn't
responding
see
to
the whole
people
video, but I saw him.
telling
Yeah,
me how hateful I was. That was my
Why
whole
are we even
fucking day.
missing a finger?
'Cause
AI,
it's AI.
AI
It's
edited.
digitally enhanced.
Yeah,
Ah,
if you
so-
watch some, and this is where you have to be savvy in this day and age. Well, not even savvy, just question source material, because even at the dance studio that I work at, we have some AI generated art, and AI is great, but it's not perfect. So in some photos, there are kids with 5 fingers. In one, there's a kid with 4 fingers.
Mm.
And there was never a sign that there was anything there, and that may be that child's birth condition, but no, it isn't. It's an AI. I know for a fact it's an AI generated image.
Right.
It's not perfect technology. So when we do have these big moments and we are getting information that is being given to us, you've got to question the source. Like in anything, you got to question. It's like being back at high school. You got to question your source. You want to write. You want to write a good essay. You got to write
I
a good
always
essay.
question my sources. Always.
Yeah.
I had to locate that Charlie Kirk quote 4 times last night before I posted it because I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, you want to be right. If you're going to say something, you want to be
You
right.
got to be right.
Know? And that's
I just
my
sent
thing
to
too.
the group chat a picture of Trump from February.
Oh, okay. Let's have a look.
If you wanted to do a comparison.
To the group chat. Everyone, look at it. I was like, look at our group chat, but please don't.
No.
Please don't. Please don't look at our group chat. Yeah.
Jeffrey came alive in it this week.
Yeah,
Oh,
she got fired up. She got
Fired.
fired up. All right, let's and look. I've just seen that photo, and a very striking, not only difference in
just for contrast.
but he looks old,
that's
as the
7
presidency
months ago.
tends to do to people.
7
So
months
this
ago.
is the French article from February, and this is the photo from the 9/11 memorial.
He looks tired more than anything.
He look, yeah, and you're an old dude.
I'm sure
It's
he knew a
okay.
couple
Like
people
it's
at times,
okay. Like, you know, and the biggest criticism was that Biden was a crazy idiot by the time he was finished. What, you want to do the same thing? You want to do the same thing, and then that's not saving America. That's not making America great again. That's just vanity and egomania. But anyway, enough of that. Enough of that. Good news this week. Some good news out of bad news. No more mushrooms for Erin Patterson. The mushroom murderer has been sentenced, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not Australian, this probably means nothing to you, but our news cycle is just America's cast-offs and mushrooms. That's all we get lately. Thank God she's going to jail because I'm sick of hearing about it. But Erin Patterson, as I said, has been sentenced to life in prison with a non-parole period of 33 years after murdering 3 people and attempting to murder a 4th after a lunch laced with death cap mushrooms.
Crazy bitch.
I know, crazy. And you got to be a good liar.
Else was sentenced today?
Who?
Brazilian President Bolsonaro.
Oh, bye-bye.
Attempted to overthrow a free and fair election and remain in power.
Grim foretelling. But we shall see. You know, you've got to be smart to tell lies. That's always the thing, right? You've got to be a good liar. You've got to be smart, have a good memory, and have people
good
around
memory.
You, people that believe in you. I have to say, watching RFK get fucking handed in that in the Senate it was intense. I was like, fuck me, this should maybe be a non-consensual moment because this everything he said, like he did not stand a chance in that room for good or for ill. But now his own nephew, Joe Kennedy III, is calling for his resignation. He took to Twitter to say that, or X, sorry, that his uncle is a threat to the health and well-being of every American. Protecting the public health of our country and its people is RFK Jr.'s responsibility. But at yesterday's hearing, he chose to do the opposite, to dismiss science, mislead the public, sideline experts, and sow confusion. None of us will be spared the pain he's inflicting. It doesn't matter how rich or how powerful you are, what state you live in. The heartbreak of watching a loved one fall ill knows no borders. The challenges before us, from disease outbreaks to mental health crises, demand moral clarity. Ding, ding, ding. Scientific expertise. Ding, ding, ding. And leadership rooted in fact. Those values are not present in the Secretary's office. He must resign.
I agree.
The interesting thing on our page, I don't know where they came from. You go, Robert. You speak the truth. And then one woman, I can't even remember her name, was woke relative knows nothing. And then one of our very good friends said, please define woke. So he has, look, I have to ask a really basic question. And I know the answer. He has no medical degree.
No.
He has no medical experience. How in the fuck, we know, does this man become the focal point for the health and well-being of every American?
He had, as a
we know a last name.
He had, as a congressman, sat on some public health commissions. He is always been known as an anti-vaxxer. He did serve some Asian country, I can't remember what Asian country, as a health consultant. And under his watch as the health consultant, they had one of the biggest outbreaks of measles in their history.
Hey, Dogsy. I think you can guess. You can go back and watch.
But no, he has no medical expertise. He considers himself to be self-educated. He has made statements like he can sit in an airport and diagnose the children walking past him just by their faces and their ankles.
Yeah. Can we diagnose you by that fucking dial-up tone voice?
He does sound like somebody.
You shouldn't. If your voice sounds like a dial-up modem, you shouldn't be directing the health of a fucking country.
Well, I mean, I, as a medical professional, take umbrage because, it's difficult to diagnose things like autism. There are tests.
Right.
There are,
it takes time.
Autoimmune disorders. You can't just say you can tell. There is difficult to inflammation. He swears that we're all going to die from inflammation, which we may. He's not 100% wrong about that, but
quick, break out the leeches and bleed everyone.
There's blood work. There's blood markers that can identify inflammation in the body. You can't look at someone and say, oh, they're inflamed because they might be a little chubby. That doesn't mean you have inflammation. You need to look at the blood tests and things like that.
He's not the thinnest man in the world either.
He speaks this hodgepodge of pseudoscience that has been rampant in the anti-vaxxer world for so long. He is against pasteurized milk. He thinks everybody should drink raw milk, even though raw milk can cause different diseases, and it's very hazardous to unborn children and pregnant women. He's made assessments about the American diet, that we overcook our food and that we should be eating a raw diet, even though he says and
Look at how well that
acknowledges
worked out for you, mate.
that he thinks he got the brain worm from an uncooked something. You know, I mean, it's a melange of pseudoscience that he's
Let's go back
regurgitating.
to half a second. The man had a worm eating his brain, and he is in charge of the health and well-being of every American.
He picks up roadkill and would throw it on the
We know.
barbecue to eat.
Whales and deers, oh my.
God.
That'll make a great autobiography. Whales and brainworms and deers, oh my. The RFK Jr. story. I mean, of all the Kennedys to survive, it's that one. It's that one. Really? The Kennedy curse is large and in charge. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. Now, there was another interesting moment this week for Sheen. I don't know if you saw this one, but someone's getting fired. Sheen's latest model caused a little bit of controversy.
Yeah.
With Luigi Mangione.
Political
modeling
violence
a shirt.
is never the answer. This is the first time I said it. Political violence
But this is
never the answer.
Again, perfect example of what we're talking about AI. Of course, that's not Luigi Mangione. He's in jail.
Mm-hmm.
But we're using that image, and again, you can have your feelings about what happened and what he did to the person that he did it to. And yes, ha ha ha, some cheap laugh. Really?
I mean, again, I heard it really did sell out like in seconds.
Yeah.
And,
The shirt did?
and
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, it sold out. And like they said, it sold out in like minutes. And I was laughing at that because I was like, "Oh my God!" Like,
because this is the world that we're in. You know,
Yeah.
we're gonna use a murderer,
yeah,
to advertise a shirt, even jokingly, and people are gonna buy into that.
yeah.
Shit, people.
They use a white girl. They
Yes.
use every color of every race of
Yeah.
every gender, and
Yeah,
it
it's
still
just
works.
like-
No matter what they do, they're gonna sell the goddamn jeans and the damn shirts and
Yeah, thank God there's been no jeans talk this week.
all this.
I don't think I could.
Yeah.
The one thing that's going to push me over the edge is if we have to talk about American Eagle again. I'm like, hang on. Leave me alone. Leave me alone,
Not
American
the
Eagle.
fat
Some
girl
people should,
jeans, if you're listening.
Some- but
American
some people
Eagle.
should just leave
Yeah.
people alone, right? Like this bitch.
Oh my God, I can't.
Baseball Karen. Again, the second week we're talking about sports. What's going on this podcast? We had a hetero to deal with this, but he's gone AWOL. So
Oh,
I have to
love
talk
this
about
story.
So
Was
I
it
absolutely
Elizabeth
love it.
Warren?
I know,
What?
right? It looks like
It looks
Elizabeth
like
Warren.
Elizabeth Warren.
It does, yeah, it does. It's not her.
It's not.
She's
What
the
have
girl.
I
I
been paying
think the
attention
woman.
to for the last 48 hours? Jesus.
I don't know who it is. They said that she was a nurse, but then like the hospital even made a statement and said like
Shame that's not
nobody
us.
that acts like that works here. Like she does not work at this hospital. Like we wouldn't allow her to work here if she was that person. Like, but yeah, the dad ran over and said he grabbed the ball between two seats, and she was like barely after it because they were all going for it. But you could clearly see in the video, he grabbed it first,
He
walked
grabbed
over
the
to his
ball.
son, put it in his mitt, and she came over not 2 seconds later and got in his face and was like, "That's my ball. You
Pointing,
took it out of my
screaming.
hand. What the fuck
you
is
can-
wrong?" Like, you know,
You can see in that video that
and
he is generally like taken aback. The kids
yeah,
are
he's scared. He's like,
because
"Oh my
this
God!"
woman's
Like,
going,
you know,
like,
because she came out of
fucking
nowhere.
crazy.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said, he's like, "I did not expect her to do that. Like, it was not a thing." And he said, you know, he didn't want to deal with it, so he gave her the ball. And no more than 10 seconds later, they said within the next 20 minutes, the whole crowd started booing her, and she had to be escorted from the stadium. And so she had to leave the game. And then I guess like an inning after that, the father and the son got like a goodie bag worth of crap from
so
the game.
I've got the little rundown. Let me just find it. I
Yeah.
can
Oh my
tell you
God.
what
I
it
mean,
is.
it's
Hold on.
truly amazing. Like all
Yeah.
because this dad was just was the bigger man, and I love that. And it's like he didn't react the way that a typical white man would act. He was just here, take the fucking thing.
It
and
wasn't
leave me the hell
violence.
alone.
It
Like,
was
I'm here
it
with
was
my
getting
family.
it was looking after his family. So
Yeah.
2 innings after the incident, a Marlins Stadium staffer went to the disappointed family and gave the young boy a bag full of team merchandise with baseballs, saying, "I saw what happened. It wasn't right," before asking the young boy, "Are you okay?" Which is the most important thing, really. The Phillies also organized the fan to come down after the game to give him a signed bat from Bader. After the footage of the incident went viral, an American businessman stepped up as well, offering the boy and his family free tickets to the World Series and an RV in which to get there. "I'll send this young man and his family to the Major League Baseball World Series on me. Oh, and if you just won an RV as well."
That's amazing.
Pretty cool.
Like, again, all because he was just fine.
Did the right thing. Somebody did the right thing.
Karma's gonna get you.
Yeah. This is the thing. For everything we've been talking about the first half of this show, this story should show that if you can just do the right thing and not meet anger with anger, people see that and it resonates with them because it's what we want to see in the world.
Mm-hmm.
We want the world to be this way. We want the world to be a place where even if something goes wrong for you, somebody is there to pick you up, to help you out, to make you feel better. So it's a shitty story, but it turns into a story that we kind of need.
No, it's the best story of the week.
We kind of really need.
Best story of the week, honestly. And then everything else happened. It was just like, I was preparing myself for today because of 9/11, and then fucking Charlie Kirk happened, and then the school shooting happened, and it was just like, what the fuck happened to this week? It just went down the shitter. Like, I just, oh my God. What a fuck, man.
Welcome to the ride of this. This is what it is like when we've been doing this for all of these years now. We live through these historic events, and it gets hard when you take them in all the time. And that's what I said. I had to step away last night. I was like, nope, gotta go away.
I feel battered.
Yeah, I can't.
Let's flash back to a more uniting time when America made the right decision. 23 years ago, you chose Kelly Clarkson, ladies and gentlemen. 23 years ago,
I know,
with Kelly Clarkson's first American Idol. They probably should, as I said, they should have stopped after there. They got it right the first time. Tick, done.
I was a huge Kelly Clarkson fan then. I still am now. And honestly, I got like the heavy, chunky highlights.
You got that. Everyone got those streaks, didn't they, baby?
Oh,
I got the streaks.
Yeah, I was just, we all ate her up, and again, till this day, she's still an amazing singer. I mean,
and you know what? A great human. Still after everything, everything that she's been through, she is still a person that obviously honors family above all else. She will say no to money. She will say no to opportunity. She'll say no if it doesn't correspond with what she believes and what she thinks is right. I have always loved Kelly, and unless something dramatic happens, I will probably always love Kelly.
Yeah.
So
I'm a big Kelly fan.
As Dogsy said,
my serious channels, the Kelly Clarkson Experience.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Back before they shot that damn gorilla and everything went to hell. Yeah.
See what I mean?
Harambe. Harambe. Harambe.
May he all rest in peace.
I know. Everything old is new again, and there is hope, there is excitement, there is the VMAs, which were this week. Did you guys manage to catch any of the VMAs?
I
You didn't
VMAs
watch?
were on
Okay.
opposite my favorite football team.
Oh no! Oh no!
And it looked
Well-
like after the first quarter, it looked like my team was going to lose big time. So I turned on the VMAs and I watched the VMAs, and then I said, no, you can't do this. You got to watch your team. And I turned back to my team and caught the most exciting 4 minutes of football I have seen in ages.
Oh my god,
Really?
we're talking about sports on this podcast. It's so weird. So off-putting.
We watch sports sometimes.
You guys do. This is my sport. The VMAs is my sport.
Yeah.
These are my athletes, ladies and gentlemen.
Usually
If you watch-
watch too, and I
If
did
you watch
not
Tate
see it.
McRae, I think she owned that award. She wins. Tate McRae wins. But Sabrina Carpenter, my God, what an epic moment.
Mhm.
And what a great use of your platform
Mhm.
to
Absolutely.
speak and to show that we are all united. So obviously Sabrina had some backing dance. Tears is already causing much controversy, as we discussed, but she paid a little homage. It's kind of like a 1970s Ninja Turtles Street New York moment for the performance. But she had drag queens and trans women on stage with her, with picket signs reading stuff like protect trans rights, dolls, and if you hate, you'll never get laid. See, that's
like
the
that
way
one.
of using humor to get a point across. And look, she was stunning. She is so good at what she does. It's just very refreshing. And she paid homage to Britney Spears a little bit, Dancing in the Rain, and it was good. It was that lightheartedness that you need. You need a little palate cleanse. Go watch Sabrina. But there was a little bit more conjecture as to what the fuck is going on with Mariah Carey. Now, if you didn't see it, Mariah received the Video Vanguard Award this year. So typically, the winner of the Video Vanguard Award, which is a Michael Jackson eponymous award, whatever you think about Michael Jackson, X, Y, and Z. But the slot for Video Vanguard is 10 minutes. Mariah did 6 minutes 15. And when I say did 6 minutes 15, it was debatable because people are legitimately concerned about the way that she moved around the stage. She appeared stiff and uneasy, barely moving. And when she did, she shuffled around the stage. And we know that Mariah likes to get led around, but people are reacting. Mariah Carey is looking like it's super painful for her to work and move. Is she okay? Everybody's making jokes, but for real, is Mariah Carey okay? The slow movement, the constant lack of discernment, the disconnect with reality when she speaks, it's giving slight dementia. Now,
she had a performance a couple years ago on New Year's Eve that was painful.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah.
But we also have to remember that in 2001 she had that very public, visible mental breakdown.
Yeah.
TRL. When she was selling the popsicles and
oh my God.
Christina's like, what?
I don't remember that. No. But I do remember another show that she was at where she was just, when she bent back, she was like this. You have to remember, Mariah Carey is not 1992 Mariah
McCarey.
Mariah McCarey. Holy fucking shit. Anyway, so she's wearing a corset. He's holding all of it in, and you can't fucking move in that shit. Not only
Right.
that, she's wearing tights and high heels, but she's probably at home sitting in her fucking PJs, collecting bank and smoking cigarettes. Who gives a
Oh
fuck?
my god!
Mariah Carey, everybody's there to see her anyway. I don't need to see her do a fucking Christina Aguilera dance and act like Sabrina Carpenter because I know Mariah Carey's a grown ass motherfucking woman. She's not going to be moving around like Sabrina Carpenter. So I don't expect her to be doing cartwheels and stunts. I don't know what she looked like because I didn't see it. But
All right,
she
go back.
does not move fast. I don't see
She
her
does
ever
not.
doing dance moves.
I think she might need to take one of the skims off so that she moves like a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's look, honestly, she's walking like it's either a post-surgery thing or it's a neurological thing. Like she's not lifting her feet.
I didn't know that.
How
She's
high were her high
shuffling.
heels?
Yeah.
They're boots. They're not stilettos though. They're boots.
Yeah,
But if you can't,
I gotta
but if
tell
you
ya,
can't
if
walk
you've
in
been
them,
wearing-
it's Mariah Carey though. If she can't walk in them, she's not going to be like, just do it anyway. I've got to do it for the fans. She's not going to do that. It's Mariah Carey.
Maybe
It's
she did
6
do
minutes.
it. Maybe she did.
You know, it's only 6 minutes, so what do you fucking, what's the big deal? I'll be fine. I don't move around anyway. Wasn't there one concert where she literally stood at the microphone the entire fucking time
Yeah.
and didn't
And look,
move?
park
at
and
all?
bark all you want, but then you don't like Baby Doll. We're all getting older.
Yeah.
We're all nobody's going to care if you wear a loose dress.
No one's gonna
Right.
care
So you
if you
can
wear flat
fucking
shoes.
breathe.
Right.
Yeah.
Like breathe. Use that God-given talent, and I don't, me and God aren't besties, but use that God-given talent and show us that you can do it, because debatable. Even the live performances that I've seen
that was
recently, I question that they're live at all because she's sometimes not near the fucking microphone.
Right.
No, I saw
And we're
a bit of it on Instagram, and she's not singing.
And we're so
Over.
quick to attack people like Britney Spears, who are actually moving around. Well, ever decreasing circles for Britney, but people like Tate McRae, they're like, "Oh my god, just put a headset on, or just lip sync." It's like, but they're trying to show you that what they do for a living and what you're paying them to do, they're doing. They can do. They give a fuck.
Mhm.
You can't have it both ways. So if you're going to criticize people like your Britneys, like your Madonnas, like all that, like Cher, like everyone, then throw it Mariah's way too, because she was very quick to advertise her new album that she wants everyone to buy.
Yeah,
And
of course.
the disconnect between the performance and the way she spoke in her speech is staggering. She looked like a deer in the headlights the entire performance, and then when she was accepting the award, she was her natural self. It's like if you can't do it anymore, that's okay.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. You don't need to.
I wonder how much money she got paid to do that bare minimum shit that she did.
Well, video vet,
Yeah,
it's a promo slot. Let's be real. It's a promo slot. She has that album coming out. It helped. I think it's like 250,000 downloads just from that performance for the album that's not even out yet. So it's doing its job.
Yeah,
it's doing its job. More power. Oh, yeah. Fuck me. You're right, Dogsy. Frankie Valli is even starting to slow down. I think Frankie Valli might have been dead for about 5 years. He's giving like Hall of Presidents. That's what he's giving.
Like a hologram.
Yeah, no, like a bad animatronic.
Oh.
Frankie's not in the room. I don't even know if he's on the planet, to be honest with you. It's scary. And people pay, and people are letting that elder abuse continue. I'm like, oh my god, just let the man die.
He has to work till he dies because he paid off all the gambling debts for the other people in his band.
This is what happens, It's a good idea to be part of that, but until it's not. Until it's not. But yeah. All right. Little hot button topic that's not political. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this on our page amongst the other detritus of the week. But Southwest Airlines will now require, from January, will require plus-size passengers to purchase additional seats in advance, eliminating their prior ability to receive extra seats for free when available. People have a lot of feelings about fat people on planes.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
They do. And someone who is, oh my God, Dogsy, going back to the Frankie Valley. You ever seen a 16-year-old? But
Oh man.
how do we feel? Because here's my thing. Okay, if you are a person of size, and I am not a small person, I have had that panic of getting on the plane and going, what if the seatbelt doesn't fit? The seatbelt doesn't fit. I'm going to ask for an extender. I'm going to suck it in. I'm going to do it. And then it always does up, thank God. But my biggest concern, even when I was larger, was, oh my God, I don't want to be that person that is taking up somebody else's space and, being a hindrance to somebody else. I think if you are of a size where you are, and the guideline is if you encroach over the armrests, that is your designated space. And if you are taking up more space that they used to, where available, give you an extra seat. Now they're asking you to pay for it.
Well, Southwest was the only airlines to ever do that.
Yeah.
Every other airline will make you pay.
Yeah, exactly. So should Southwest be demonized for that, though?
No.
There comes a time where you have to take responsibility for whatever's going on. And yes, you might be larger. Okay, that means you can't fit in that seat. That means you have to, for more than anything else, for your comfort and the person next to you, you might have to get that second seat. It's not, I don't see it as anti-fat. That's not what it is.
Definitely punitive. With the cost of airline tickets today, yes. I have been flying well fat for years.
Flying well fat. I love it.
My lot in life, I fly well fat. I had a horrible incident on a flight back from France where this tiny little skinny woman went off on the fact that I was too fat and I was making her uncomfortable. I had a horrible flight where there were no extenders available, so I had to force myself into the seatbelt, and I was in pain for the whole fucking flight. I've had horrible flights, and I always try very hard to talk to the airlines. I always call. I don't book online. I say, listen, I'm a plus-size woman. What is your policy? What are the options? And I got to tell you, there have been trips that have been canceled because I can't afford to buy a second ticket. And the airline seats continue to get smaller and smaller.
You're also doing the right thing, though, Vera. You're considering yourself, and you're considering other people going, well, you don't turn up and expect it to be free.
If you embarrass the shit out of somebody, if you make somebody feel bad for living in their own skin, then I don't care what your reasoning is. You're a bad person.
Yeah, but you also don't want to put yourself in that situation of getting there and going, oh my God, what are we going to do with this woman?
That skinny woman that made me feel like shit flying home from France.
Yeah.
I was not encroaching on her space. I was doing everything in my power to stay within my seat rest.
Yeah.
You know?
And all of us people that are slightly larger have gotten off a plane from going like this for however long. Like, oh my God, I'm aching.
I do think that fat shaming is still allowed, prevalent, and encouraged in our society. I think,
But my question, all right, so maybe I didn't word it correctly. Do you think that them changing their policy is fat shaming when everyone else doesn't do that anyway?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
But I think they've given enough notice to really notify their flyers. This was the service they provide. It's not a service they'll be providing any longer. No other
Yeah.
airline has been providing that service. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So
if you can afford to buy 2 seats, you might as well pay for an upgrade to first class.
exactly, or business at least. So Dogsy says, right, so here's the thing from industry perspective. Every seat is priced on weight of luggage, the crews pay and the fuel costs. So, but also Southwest could get away with offering free seats because they use all their own fleet outright. However, they currently have 6-seat Airbuses on finance that they have to pay off every month because with everything is more expensive and getting
Yeah.
more so. So the buck has to stop somewhere.
And it's
At the
always
end
going
of
to
the
stop on the fat person.
Sorry, Christina, do you have something to say before I cut you off?
No.
No. No, I do not. But look, as I said, whatever size I have been, I'm always that's the one thing I'm like, I'm getting on the plane, oh shit. And there have been times like, oh fuck me, if I have to get up and ask for it, I'm like, I will die. You won't have to get me off. You won't have to take me anywhere. I will die.
Mm-hmm.
And
I didn't pee.
I don't think, yes, things
on the
people.
way to fly.
Yeah, go. You
Sorry,
didn't pee.
I think that's what I was trying to say. Like, I know on my last flight to Florida for my sister's bachelorette party, I was by a window and she was next to me, and I was basically sitting like on my side the whole time, like just leaning this way so that even on my sister, I wasn't encroaching on her space. And I didn't get up at all for the 4-hour flight. And because I was not going to be that person to have the other 2 people move. Again, even if one is my sister, I didn't know the third person. I'm not going to have her move because I don't want to disturb her. And then I'm going to have to go walk my fat ass down to the
Always an
bathroom
aisle
and then
seat.
come all the way back down and try to do that. And
walk down the aisle with your people's elbows.
I didn't want.
I always hit someone with my ass.
Yeah.
No matter how skinny I'm gonna be, and always gonna have a fat ass, I'm always hitting someone with my. Oh Jesus Christ! But
flying
as Vera,
fat is horrible.
And as Vera said, other people's shit is horrible, but you're already saying stuff to yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You're already in a situation
you're
that's
already
really like
doing your best
fuck.
to fit into a world that's too small for you.
Yeah. But I don't think you can villainize Southwest for making that choice.
I don't think so either. Because like I said, having flown while fat my entire life, no other airlines gives you
that's new merch. That's definitely new merch, I think.
Flying while fat. I love that.
Just watch it take off. Literally, watch it take off all over the world.
Well, hopefully it takes off and I can afford the first class seat.
If ever I'm back in America, I'm gonna wear a flying while fat shirt. You know,
do it, please.
Never skinny enough. You know, it's all good. All right, it's time. We've vented, but we've got to just have one more outlet. So it's time for Vera.
I don't know if I can.
Okay, V, rally. You can do this. 3, 2, 1, man.
Well, I've been planning since Sunday, actually since last week, to discuss ICE, the Immigration Customs Enforcement Agency, who are terrorizing the country at the moment. On Thursday, there was an ICE raid about 15 miles from my house. It was the largest manufacturer in northern Cuyahoga County. They make granola bars and nutritional bars. They hired, or they have a workforce that includes 70 Hispanics, and ICE and the Cuyahoga County Sheriff, working in tandem with ICE, broke through the door with a battering ram using crowbars and breaking windows They lined the employees up against the wall and started separating them by the color of their skin. They would not let the employees who had green cards, who had papers, go out to their car to get the proof. They rounded them up, they carted them off, and they, without any due process, without any evidence of a warrant, and took them to detention. 40 of them were flown out that night to a detention center in Texas for deportation the next day. This was less than 48 hours. None of them had been given an opportunity to prove their legality or their place. And they were, turns out, of the 60 Hispanic employees working there, 47 were legal residents, legal permanent residents with green cards. Only 5 were here illegally without any paperwork at all. And these people, the entire company, the owners included, felt traumatized, terrorized, belittled, harassed, and terrified. This is 15 minutes from my house. Also in the news with ICE this week, a congressional candidate, a woman who hopes to serve this country, turned in a Hyundai plant in the state of Georgia. This Hyundai plant was in the process of being built, and it was employing 400 Korean nationals who were here on work visas with legal papers to help set up this plant that was going to employ 8,500 Americans, 8,500 jobs. And they were so disrespectful. ICE was so unkind. They were so inhumane to the 400 Koreans that they are self-deporting. They are never coming back. Hyundai has canceled a $4.3 billion contract to build this plant in Georgia that was set to hire 8,500 Americans in the next year, with an eye on 10,000 jobs in the year after that. Hyundai also is owned by LG, who makes computer parts, and many of the pieces in your phone and your computer are manufactured through LG. They are canceling all future contracts in the United States because of the way their citizens were treated in Georgia. Bad Bunny, a Puerto Rican American who is on the top of the charts and the Latin charts all over the world, has canceled all tour dates in the United States because he's afraid that ICE will target his fans. He has a largely Spanish-speaking fan base who come to his concerts routinely. There are Spanish Americans born and bred in this country who still speak Spanish or speak Spanish with an accent, who have brown skin, who are afraid to go to concerts because ICE may target them. The Supreme Court just guaranteed that ICE can target anybody. They are allowed to racially profile anyone with brown skin, and they are doing so in manners where they are not asking for proof. They are just rounding them up, detaining them, and shipping them to detention centers. They are ignoring the Constitution. The Fourth Amendment guarantees due process to every single human being within the borders of the United States. It is not regulated by citizenship. It is not regulated by skin color. It's every single living human in the United States, regardless of citizenship, is entitled to due process. And if you're not getting your day in court, you're not getting due process. So how is this legal? How are these people, these hardworking people, these engineers from Hyundai, how are they getting deported like they're supposed to be MS-13? This deportation, this ramp up of deportation was supposed to be targeting criminals. They're just deporting people based on the color of their skin. And we see the price of food going up every fucking day. Every fucking day. In the last 30 days, the price of food has gone up 0.6%, and it is up over 2.75% over the last 8 months. And part of the reason that all of our food is going up is, yes, the tariffs, but brown people have been picking our food and processing our chicken and raising and milking our cows for the last 30 years. Now, I've seen a lot of stuff going down with the American farmers feeling villainized because Congress is not okaying a bailout. The American farmers voted overwhelmingly for the president, who has not been shy about the fact that he was going to deport people and he was going to impose tariffs. And they should know from the last time he was president that this would affect them. But they all voted for him anyway. And now they're running around saying, America hates farmers. No, we don't hate farmers. But we need you to learn the lesson. Tariffs don't work. Deportation doesn't work. The American economy is dependent on a sub-minimum wage employee because we have artificially kept the price of food down so that Americans don't feel the pinch of a never increased minimum wage. The minimum wage has been the same for 40 years. If it were going up with the rate of inflation, the minimum wage in this country, for somebody to be able to work a job, any job, it doesn't matter what job it is, you should be able to work 40 hours a week flipping hamburgers and still be able to afford rent and food. Doesn't matter. But if the minimum wage in this country had kept up with inflation, we'd be making a minimum of $22 an hour, depending on your state, and as high as $58 an hour for some states. We're going in the wrong direction, not just on the political violence, but on the internal policy. The policies of this country are backwards, and they're hurting us, every one of us, every single day.
Sorry, we had a bit of a technical difficulty there mid-rant. I was like,
Sorry.
oh. We got all horrified. Well said, as always, Vera. I know it's been kind of a little bit of a heavy moment at the beginning of the show and all that kind of stuff, but we do obviously have to take a moment to acknowledge that once again in the US it is 9/11. Take a second in your day to just remember those people and those people that are still to this day working to identify people that passed away on that day. I think that's a really important thing that a lot of people don't think of, that yes, this happened 24 years ago and it was a massive world event, but this is still some people's everyday, digging through minuscule pieces of the wreckage of that day to try and give closure to people who never got to say goodbye to their families. So in the world the way it is now, I think the best thing you can do is to make sure that you hug your people tight, tell them you love them, and try as hard as it is to not get baited into the violence, into the rhetoric, into the hate, and do your bit to make the world the place where you want to live. Spread love. As we said at the beginning of the show, we all love each other. So we might not agree, but we all love each other and we want the best for everyone, really. You know, so if this week has been a heavy one for you, we feel you. We feel it as well. So take some time to look after yourself. We aren't meant to take in this much stuff. It has an effect. So do something nice for you, for the world, for your family, and do something nice and just keep watching our show because we're nice sometimes. Sometimes we're nice. We're funny sometimes too. Thank you for joining us, Christina and Vera. I've been Steve. This has been UCR Live. We'll be back at you again next week. Spread love, people. Spread love.
Nice.
Yeah, just be nice. Love you.
Yeah.
Bye.